Hello, everyone, and welcome to One Woman Connected for March. We're going to actually have a couple of these in March, and for sure, I do one of these each month, and I'm going to try to do two depending on if I'm traveling and where I am and what I'm doing and what's going on, because there's a lot of fearless events that's coming up. We're back doing live events again, which is so great to be able to do. I know I see some familiar faces here. Like I said, I saw Sylvia last weekend in San Francisco. And so we did events in San Francisco and San Jose. And of course, I saw Magdalena. She volunteered and helped with our Los Angeles event back in January. And we did an event in San Diego. And we have one coming up soon in Chicago in April. So yeah, it's nice being able to do things in person once again. You know, virtual has been great because it's allowed us to still be able to stay connected. One Woman has grown even bigger during these last 2 years. We now connect almost 500,000 women right around the world. And yeah, and going virtual, you know, that was one of the blessings as part of the pandemic. Is it made me learn how to do things online, to be able to stay connected, to be able to empower women and girls globally. And we grew massively during that time. So it's great that we're able to reach more women and more girls doing what we do, because with doing live events, you know, there's only so many cities that I can hit in a year. So I think going forward, we're going to have a great combination of both doing virtual events and doing live events, because if you've attended a live event, well, we all know there's just a different dynamic and a different energy that when you can see people and have those conversations and, you know, meet somebody sitting next to you, it's always fun to be able to do that. So I think I know a lot of the ladies on the call today, but for those that I don't know, my name is Charlotte Brown and I'm the founder of One Woman. And today is a very special day because thanks to Facebook Memories, it brought up the memory of the first day that I stepped into the Amazon rainforest, which was March the 4th, 2015. And that's where One Woman began, was in Ecuador. I was there on a trip. I went to what I thought was going to be to build a school or maybe dig a well or build a clinic or something like that, doing some work in a developing country. And I had an event management company at the time. I had volunteered to put on an event for them and with young people in the city where I lived at the time, which was Thunder Bay, Ontario. And it was about 1,500 youth that was there. And then I was invited to go see the work that they do in developing countries. And I chose Ecuador to go to. I had no idea that this would be a life-changing trip for me. And that's what it was. Oh, awesome, Daniela. She's from Ecuador. Beautiful country and beautiful people. And I don't know if anybody here has ever been on one of those life-changing trips, but it completely changed my life. I found out when I arrived to Ecuador that we wouldn't be building a school and we wouldn't be digging a well and we wouldn't be building a clinic. In fact, we'd be building a women's empowerment center. And oh boy, they had my attention then because I'd been empowering women my whole life. I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. And I know you're thinking, I don't believe it. She doesn't even look 25. But yes, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 21 years old. I also worked for the Canadian federal government since I was 18 years old. I started as a customs officer when I was still a student in university, between the Canada-US border crossing between Ontario and Minnesota. And then I transferred over to the tax department. So for my American friends on the call today, your equivalent to the IRS, Canada Revenue Agency here. And yeah, gosh, fun job, calling people about their taxes. Not a lot of thank you cards, can't say there was a lot of hugs in there, but I did spend a 20-year career also with the Canadian federal government. I was able to retire at age 37 between having a great job and having successful businesses over the years. I was able to leave that. And I was glad I could because I was able to then find One Woman. I had left my government job in November of 2014, and it was March of 2015 that I wound up going to Ecuador. You see, I always say God's always setting us up for whatever's next in our life, and that everything that's ever happened to us, the good and the bad and the ugly, is always preparing us for what was next. And I had no idea because I had a successful event management company. I was happy doing that. And I had no idea that this trip would change the whole trajectory of my life. I worked with these ladies in the Amazon, deep into the rainforest, where there was no access to electricity or clean drinking water. These women fetched water from a polluted river every day. And, it was so exciting for me to be able to create something in a community that would empower women to be able to become financially independent, to be able to empower themselves, to be able to lift themselves out of poverty, to be able to send their children to school, to be able to have access to health care, and to be able to live the life of their dreams. They made such beautiful handcrafted items, sourced many things from the jungle that they would create, beaded items and clay and make handmade pottery and all these amazing things. And the charity that we were working with would then sell these items to the world, and it would allow those communities to become self-sufficient. And I got so hooked on the work that they did. And I got to know these women so well over these 12 days that I was there. Their native tongue is, of course, Quechua is what it's called, but they also speak Spanish. And I'm lucky enough that I always say I speak enough Spanish to get myself out of jail if I needed to. So I got to get to know these ladies, and I got to know what was important to them. I got to know about what their big goals and dreams were and what they wanted for the future of their children. And I must say, it was hard for me to leave on that 12th day. I really got to know these ladies so well. And what I realized is that all women have a dream for their life in this world, that we all just want a little better life for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities around us. And what I know for sure is that nothing empowers a woman more than financial independence. So I went to bed that last night, and I was listening to the sounds of the jungle, when the vision of one woman came to my mind. God planted it so vividly in my mind and in my heart. It was still dark. And of course, like I said, there's no electricity. I'm jumping out of bed to try to find my flashlight, to find a journal and a pen, because I always keep one close by. And I started writing down everything that God put on my heart as to what one woman would look like. I could actually see, I knew the name. I knew it was called One Woman. I could see the images so vividly of the faces of the women that I would help and serve right around the world. But then the old imposter syndrome sinks in, doesn't it? For all of us who have big goals and dreams that want to make an impact on this world, have this divine calling and knowing that we want to make a difference, we want to make an impact, as to who do you think you are? How are you going to bring women together for the greater good of all women in this world? You're just a small town girl, Charlotte. Yeah, maybe you got some big crazy dreams, but how are you going to do it? And what I learned that day, that it wasn't my job as to how it was going to happen for me. My life changed the day I decided to let go of what was Charlotte possible in this world and to embrace what was God possible through me in this world. And that's what I talk about at every Fearless Summit, where Fearless even began, and how One Woman even began, is trusting that, there is a divine calling for each of our lives. And that when we just trust it, when we take the first right step or the next right step, that the next one just magically lights up and appears. Fearless, yes. That's where the name Fearless came, because, everything that we want really is on the other side of fear. Our job is to just say, I'm not scared anymore. And it's okay that you're a little bit scared. There's lots of times I've done things where my knees are shaking. And creating, one of the largest women's empowerment organizations in the world, well, I can't say that that's what I thought it was going to be when I first started out. All I know is I knew what God planted on my heart. And I just went home and I just started telling people about it. And that I wanted to create an organization that brought women together for the greater good of all women in this world, that it listened to the big goals and dreams that every woman and girl had for their life, and to be able to create opportunities for women to be able to network, connect, feel supported and encouraged, create a platform for women to be able to speak, share their fearless stories, to shine. And I just needed to put that together and take the first right step. A friend of mine donated the website. She had a media company, and I started telling her about what I wanted to do. And she said, you know what, Charla, I'd love to donate a website. Did the first step light up? You better believe it. Did I take it? Yes, that door opened. I walked right through it. As the great Martin Luther King Jr. once said, take your first step in faith. You don't have to see the entire staircase. Just take the first step. Now, I had a very successful event management company. I worked with a lot of famous people, made a lot of rich people richer. And I worked with famous people like sharks from Shark Tank, dragons from Dragon's Den, Hay House authors, New York Times bestselling authors, Food Network stars, HGTV stars, television stars, comedians, you name it. We put on a lot of amazing events, did a lot of tours for a lot of famous speakers. And I decided to let that go and create my own set of events, putting women center stage, and events called Fearless to share their fearless stories. Not one of these women were famous in the eyes of maybe the rest of the world. There were women who had a big goal and a dream. They may have been just starting a business, or maybe haven't even started their business yet. Maybe they just had something powerful that they wanted to share with others. Now, that was taking a big risk because it was my piggy bank that funded that entire tour, 15 cities right across Canada. I had no marketing materials to start with as to previous events that I had done. I created those, had those created, set out to put those events on across Canada, used the power of social media to advertise and promote those events, and every single one of those events sold out right across Canada. The largest event happening in Halifax, Nova Scotia, with almost 800 women attending. Were you at that one, Krista? I saw you do this. Yes, awesome. That's good to hear. Well, there was like a conga line that went on somewhere during the day, and we had so much fun with the women in Halifax, but all the ladies. Our speakers came from around the world, and I couldn't understand it because I was advertising and promoting for speakers in each of those cities, but yet women were applying from all over Canada, all over the United States, all over the United Kingdom, all over Europe, all over Australia, and all over New Zealand. And I thought, how did you find out about this? And they said, oh, well, I saw it, in the Speakers Bureau. I saw it in this, newsletter that I belong to, all these kind of things. And that's when I knew the power of letting go of what is Charlotte possible, or Janine possible, or Natalie possible, or Angela possible, or whatever it is, and leaning into what is God possible. Because I just put it out there. And how all those women came to me is only from what was God possible. Those events were spectacular, and women started inviting us to come to their cities. It wound up being another 40-city tour that happened in the United States the following year, tours across the United Kingdom and Ireland, and of course, Australia, New Zealand, and how I know the beautiful Janine is from doing those events as well. So one woman can change the world. And what I know for sure is that one woman is you. It all started with one woman, a crazy idea, a piece of paper, a pen, and a determined heart. And what I know for sure is that whatever it is that's in your heart today, whatever big goals and dreams you have for your life, for your business, that's all you need to be massively successful, because everything else has already been put into you. God's already put that into you right from the moment you were born, even before so. So One Woman now connects about 500,000 women right around the world. I created the entire organization from my kitchen table. Still work from my home, as you can see. I do have an amazing team that works from around the world that helps me with various things. I know my skill set, I know what I'm good at, and I know what I have other women, pretty much all women that I work with, in terms of, making sure that one woman does the work that we set out to do in this world. So that's a little bit of a background about One Woman, a little bit about me, how I wound up doing this work. And it really is my passion and my purpose. Nothing brings me more joy than empowering women and girls in this world. And we empower all women and girls in this world. We believe that no woman or girl should ever be left behind. We work in both developed and developing countries. So in developed countries, we do our world summits, we do our online events, we do all kinds of great things to be able to create speaking opportunities, create a platform for women to shine, to be able to network and connect, to be able to build their personal and professional skills, whatever the case might be, to be able to start businesses, all those wonderful things. We do work also in developing countries in a lot of those same areas, helping women start businesses. Maybe sometimes those businesses look different, in a lot of communities that we work with in Southeast Asia, in Africa, it might be helping a woman, start a goat business or a vegetable business, having a stand in her local market. It might not necessarily be a coaching business or writing her best-selling book. It might be the fact of what she wants to do to be able to live the life of her dreams, to be able to support her family and to be able to lift herself out of that cycle of poverty. Education is another important pillar for us. We believe that every girl should have the right to go to school. And we know that there's a lot of girls out there, over 130 million girls do not have access to education. And there's something wrong with that every girl should be able to go to school, no matter where you live in this world. And so we do our best to be able to send girls to school at every level, from primary and elementary school to secondary school, post-secondary school. We have lots of girls who are in college and university right now. That it would never be a reality for their life if it wasn't for an organization like One Woman and other organizations out there that do that kind of work to be able to educate girls. We truly believe that education is the ultimate equalizer. So how do we do this work in this world? Well, it all started with our One Woman memberships. And we launched our memberships when One Woman began back in, I launched the website, I think it was in 2016. So I went on the trip in 2015. 2016, I was in India. I did my research. I traveled to Kenya, I traveled to Ecuador, and I traveled to India, all in the same year, to really meet and have conversations with the women that I felt that I needed to gain my leadership skills from, to really direct the path of One Woman, to be able to empower women and girls and what they needed, not what I felt they needed, but what they needed. And so I spent an entire year traveling to do that. So our memberships do the work that we do. And we offered those memberships right from 2016. And before, we only had one type of membership. It was our basic membership or One Woman membership, whatever it was called back then. And it's basically $20 a month. And what we do is we pool those funds together to be able to do the work that we do in this world. Now, before, a lot of those funds would go to developing countries to be able to do that work. But only this year have we also been helping women in developed countries to be able to start businesses as well. This year, I was able to help 2 women who both live in the United States, who are both currently homeless, to be able to start and build the life of their dreams through entrepreneurship. And that's something that I'm also very passionate about doing. And as we build and grow and are able to help more women in this world, we will continue to do that. And so our basic membership, like I said, it's $20 a month. And those are women who just believe in what we're doing and say, you know what, maybe I can't, send a girl to school on my own, but I can contribute $20 a month towards that. We pool those resources together and we use it for those programs and projects. We update our members every single month as to where those funds went. Updates on the girls that you're helping to go to school, updates on the women that you're helping to start businesses, all that stuff. In 2020, when the pandemic hit, I added a new membership because that's when my heart really started to get heavy, was when women started reaching out to me and really scared about the future of their business. That now the world looked so much different, that how they did business before wasn't necessarily going to work. They could no longer maybe travel. Maybe they couldn't keep their doors open. Whatever the case might be, there was a lot of concern and panic around their business and being able to make it. And that did weigh heavy on my heart. A lot of women who are starting out in business and trying to build and grow a business, their biggest struggle often is marketing, starting to build their network and their following in their community and get their message out there. And I see a lot of nodding heads. That it's like, look I know what I'm passionate about. I know my gifts and my skills. I want to get it out there, but I just don't know how to do it. Well, that one's been easy for me because I became a marketing guru. Even though my education's in international business and a lot of my career was spent in accounting with the Canada Revenue Agency, my passion has always been marketing. And especially with social media marketing, it's something that I've learned to do really, really well. And it's how I've been able to grow One Woman to 500,000 women in such a short amount of time. So we have this massive network and following. And I thought there's a way that I can use One Woman to be able to help women build and grow their businesses. Because most women we work with, that's their target market. Women, whether that's moms, whether that's, women over 40 or women who are starting a business or women who, struggle with confidence or whatever it might be, chances are your market lives within the One Woman community. So I created our Empowered membership, which is specifically meant to help women start businesses, grow their business, market their business, and really get it out there. So I'll talk a little bit more about our Empowered membership, what's all involved in it, what's all included, and why it has been so popular. I kind of onboard only so many members at a time because I really work with those members and make sure that they understand the benefits of their membership and then what they want to do under the umbrella of One Woman. So I did that last month. Natalie, who's speaking, she came on board as a member, so you're going to hear from her. But I'll have some spaces for March that I'll be able to work with a few other ladies. And if you have a basic membership right now and you want to upgrade your membership, that's available as well. So what's all included in our Empowered membership? Well, meetings like this. So it's a great way to be able to network, connect, find out what's going on with One Woman and stay in the loop. Before, we used to do kind of a round table where everybody would talk about, who they were, what they did, but it's gotten too big. And so our meeting would be like 3 or 4 hours by the time everybody got a chance. So we've kind of done it so that we pick one person to speak to kind of share and really get to know what that woman does and how they help others and get to know that member so that we can start, knowing if maybe that's a person we need to work with or that we can refer and start cross-referring. So I'll be doing some other things, whether that's interviews or things through our One Woman Connected page to be able to do more highlights on our members. But these meetings is all about kind of finding out what's going on with One Woman, what you can get involved with, and of course, getting to know at least one of our members during that time, which today you're going to hear from Natalie a little bit later. We have a member directory listing on our website. So it's another way to be able to connect with amazing women right around the world. And if you're looking for a product, a service, something, you can always go to that directory first and know it's somebody who's part of our One Woman family. And so you get a directory listing on our website to be able to share what you do. And you can also see all the other members that's there, that if you're needing help with your website or a graphic designer or, a business coach or whatever the case might be, you'll be able to find anything you're looking for through the directory. You can share your featured member story. So maybe you're sharing it in a platform like this or on a fearless stage, but you can also write it. If that's not your cup of tea to be able to present, you can write it and we share your featured member's story. So I know Patty has just submitted hers. I have it ready to go. So you can keep your eye out on the newsletter and you'll definitely learn more about Patty as our next featured member story that's going to be going out. You can speak at One Woman events. Who here likes speaking or wants to be a speaker or loves being on the stage? Yeah, and I know I've got some ladies here like Sharon, who's going to be speaking at an upcoming World Summit coming up and all that great stuff. And I know we have women here who've spoke before, but it's probably one of the things that we're most famously known for is our Fearless Summits. We have live events that happen in cities around the world. And then we also have our World Summits. And why those are so popular is because they're broadcasted to almost 500,000 women around the world through our social media channels. So you do get a really great reach with your story and with your message. So for those that want to speak, a lot of women speak for the very first time on a Fearless stage. And I always say it's the most loving audience you could ever imagine. It's one of the most incredible experiences. And for those that want to be on a TED stage one day or, have one coming up, a lot of women will use the Fearless stage as practice to really perfect their talk and to get the experience of speaking in front of an audience, because we style our talks a lot along the lines of TED, where they're 20-minute talks, 20 minutes or less, which is that time frame that's the same for TED. So it's great to be able to do that. So Empower members gets first opportunities to be able to speak at One Woman events. And I create a member newsletter that goes out that whenever there's new opportunities or things that come up, members have first opportunity to be able to apply, and then I send it out to everyone else. So do you need to be a member to speak at an event? No, but spaces are always available to members first. Next is to become part of our One Woman Speakers Bureau. A lot of women who speak want to be paid to speak, and rightfully so. And if that's a passion of yours and that what you want to do, we get a lot of emails from corporations, from colleges, universities, schools, organizations, other events that's looking for, women empowerment speakers on different topics. And so I just connect them to women who are part of our Speakers Bureau. And that's included in your membership, is to be part of our Speakers Bureau. And if you check that out on our website, you'll see some of our speakers that's listed there, that's what they do. They're professional speakers, and they do that full time, maybe alongside of, what else they do with their business. But, it's opportunities to be able to be connected to paid speaking opportunities. I don't want to say they're all paid. Sometimes maybe they'll ask you to do it for, I don't know, but just whatever opportunities it comes, they'll fill out a form, which is connected to your Speakers Bureau page. I send it to you and you do the rest. So you negotiate what your speaker's fee is, your per diem, your travel arrangements, any of that kind of stuff. It's up to you at that point. But it's a great way to have opportunities for speaking engagements. Next is to facilitate One Woman Empowerment Academy webinars. So sometimes 20 minutes just isn't enough to get your message across. And a lot of women love to teach and be able to share, what they do, to be able to teach women personal skills, professional skills, all that kind of stuff. And so we created our One Woman Empowerment Academy webinars just for that. And so if you're part of our empowered membership, you're able to teach through our Empowerment Academy. You don't have to. You can offer webinars and we'll still advertise and promote them. That's not under the umbrella of the Empowerment Academy. But why women want to do it lots of times through our Empowerment Academy is they don't have their own reach necessarily to be able to get all those registrations, and that we record them. They live on forever through our website. Our website gets over 10,000 views a day. So it's lots of great exposure. We also upload it onto our YouTube channel, so it lives on there forever as well. So lots of times women will want to do it just for that impact. And then you also get a recording of that webinar that you can use for your business however you want. So, if you want to use that as a lead generator on your website, or you want to use it as an evergreen webinar that you offer, you can do that because you get a copy of that recording as well. So the next thing is advertising your products and services to our network of almost 500,000 women worldwide. So as I mentioned, sometimes you want to put on your own webinar. Maybe you have your own events coming up. Maybe you have a product that you want to get out there. It's a great way to be able to reach a massive network of women from right around the globe. So our members and our women who follow us are from all over the world, and you can post what you like. And we have our One Woman Connected page, which is free for anybody to join. You don't need a membership to join it, but to be able to advertise and promote on it, you do need to be an empowered member. So we have our connected page, and then of course I pick anything up from that page to be able to share through our e-newsletter, which has about 100,000 women on it, and also through our other social media channels that we share it through. So yeah, that is your ability to be able to advertise and promote your products and services. You also have access to One Woman business webinars. Now, we'll also be doing other kinds of webinars as well. They're not always specifically to business, but the ones I taught before, a lot of them were business webinars, a lot to do with marketing, because that was usually one of the biggest struggles that women had: how to create effective Facebook ads, how to build and grow a group page, how to put on online events, all that stuff. So we teach a lot of business webinars, but we're also going to be adding other ones. And as an empowered member, you can attend any of those webinars absolutely for free. It's included in your membership. You can host your own one-woman show. So a lot of women like being on camera. Some don't like it, but some love it. And so maybe you've always wanted to have your own show, or maybe you have one right now, but you're not necessarily getting the reach that you want to get. So if you've noticed, if you're on the One Woman Connected page, yesterday I posted show for one of our members, which is Capano. She's going to be our speaker later this month. And she does a fantastic show that we now broadcast through our network as well. So we do have a program that teaches you how to put together your own show if you don't know how to do that. But for those that already do it and just need a powerful platform to be able to release your show to, that's also included in your membership that we'll stream it for you. Access to One Woman funding. So we were really blessed that in 2020, we have a partnership with Michelle Romanow's bank. Michelle Romanow is one of the dragons from Dragon's Den here in Canada. And she has a bank. And she was massively successful. I think Michelle's about 36 years old, worth about $175 million is her net worth right now, maybe even more so now. And she started her own bank to be able to help entrepreneurs, especially e-commerce entrepreneurs, build and grow, those that have an online presence and are building and growing their businesses online. And so we do have a loan fund through her bank, Clear Bank, which goes from $10,000 to $10 million. And so you also get the link to be able to apply for that if you're needing funding to grow your business, which we know is a struggle for a lot of women to really get to that next level in their business, that sometimes you're just getting by all the time and you need extra capital to be able to get to that next level. We have that partnership to help you to be able to do that. And of course, through that membership, you're also empowering a woman or girl every single month. So through entrepreneurship, through skills training, or through education, those are the ways that we empower women and girls globally. We believe that if you give somebody a fish, you feed them for a day, but if you teach someone how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. So that is what's most important for us. So the empowered membership is $97 a month. That's the regular price. And to try it, you get to try your first month for $39. Catch is I'm only looking for 5 new members for this month, just because I'm already working with some other members right now. But for those that decide that, yeah, you know what, I want a empowered membership, I'm just going to put the link in the chat. This is the link to do it. And the first thing is you're going to get an email from me that is going to explain all those things that I talked about with the links and everything in it. And then we're going to have a call to answer any questions that you have about your membership and the things that you would really like to do over the coming months. And, you know, I can direct you as to, you know, how we can help you put those together. So that's the link. And like I said, once I've reached 5, then I'll cap it off and I'll see how I'm doing at the 18th when we do our next session as to if I can take some more ladies on. But yes, $39 is the first month. That's correct, Daniela. And after that, it's $97 a month, which what I told you as to what it includes and the ability to access a network like that is priceless. As Natalie's shaking her head, absolutely. It's priceless, but it's what it's what we're able to do. And so if that's something that you want to do, that's the link to be able to sign up. And the other thing I want to mention is if you have a regular membership, the Inspired membership right now, and you want to upgrade it, then just email me because I can easily go in and upgrade it. So before I introduce Natalie, I want to open it up for questions. So does anybody have any questions about any of the things that I talked about, that I covered, or about One Woman in general? Feel free to just unmute yourself if you have any questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. So fabulous what you just said. I think that is awesome, the things that you've done so far and what you're doing. I've been out on the website. I've looked at quite a number of things. A lot of those things that you're doing is near and dear to my heart because I have a 501c3 as well, working in Kenya, Uganda, and Nigeria. So my question is, you talked about those areas that you do certain things I noticed online. Do you ever do, you take your membership or whoever might want to go to any of those places as well to participate in actually mentoring and, you know, doing those types of things that we do in our own area of expertise to the young women in those different countries? Specifically, I'm interested in all young women, but right now, my calling is in Africa. At this point, that's my question.
Yes. So the last empowerment trip we went on was in March of 2020, just before the pandemic hit. We were in Indonesia, working with our partner charity Valleywise there. And so we usually go on one empowerment trip each year. But if there's somewhere that you're wanting to go with our partner charities, maybe it's not me that will be going, but that I can connect you with that partner charity. For example, Folk Fanu, who we work with, they're the woman who runs that organization is based in Seattle. She'll be heading back to Uganda this July.
Oh,
and so
okay.
if you'd like to go, I can always connect you with her, that even though I probably won't be going on that trip, but if you wanted to go, because it's our partner charities that do that work on the ground. I don't physically do it. I'm busy
Right.
enough with doing events around the world
Right.
to raise these funds, because most of those partner charities are just trying to stay open and they're trying to do the work that they do, but they don't have the funds to be able to do it. And so we really are a big fundraiser for those organizations to be able to do the work that they do, to be able to educate girls, empower women, give them skills training, all those kind of things.
Charlotte, let me ask you one more B question to that A question. I'll be real quick. So those of us who do have these types of organizations, having a partnership with one woman, have you thought about, or do you have opportunities for us to partner with your partners to help our organizations do what we do in the countries that we operate in?
Yeah, you can go to our website and you can see all of our partner charities to be able to just contact them directly. Or if you need me to connect you, I can definitely connect you directly to any of them. But usually in each newsletter to our members, we feature our partner charities and then include the direct links to their website and their contact information, that if you want to get more involved with them, you absolutely can.
Do you help your membership get exposed in the newsletter? I think I heard you say, so in other words, my 501c3 is DOZA Inc., Daughters of Zion Arise Inc. Is there a possibility to be able to be featured in those newsletters as a member?
So I'm not sure, maybe if you joined a little bit late, Janice, but there's a couple things I talked about. Share your featured membered story. So that was one of the things that I talked about. And I'll be sending this recording out as well, so you can go back and play it.
No
But that's
problem.
one way to be able to share your featured membered story. And then also to be able to advertise and promote what you do through our network. So we have our One Woman Connected page that you can post on there. And you can also, then we pick it up and share it as we have space on newsletters and social media posts, not a problem at all. So those we share all the time. But I will make sure I send this recording out so you can go back and you can listen. And then also on the connected page, I also have a video there that explains the things that I talked about as well. It's kind of a shorter version, but yeah, all that stuff is in there. And then when you join as a member, I send an email out that explains, that has all those links. So all the things that I covered today is also included in that first email that I sent out.
Thank
But
you
I
so
understand,
much.
I know some people joined late, so they might have missed some of the benefits.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you about the membership because, well, first of all, it's amazing how you took the dream and brought it out to a physical world. I'm absolutely in love. This is amazing what you do. And your post on Facebook got my attention. I signed up for the Empowered membership back on the February 4th. And now my question is, I heard you say that you have space available only for 5 women. So does that mean that I'm still not a member until we have our conversation coming up? Or
no, you are already a member, Sylvia.
Okay.
I just mean for women who are not existing members right now and to join now. I only have so much time in a day that I can take calls and to be able to work with women, because I also run 100 Most Powerful Women, where I coach women to build $1 million businesses.
Oh, okay.
So, plus I'm traveling and doing events and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I always got to be mindful of my time and my health. As you know, I actually died in September 27th of last year. So I'm very cognizant of my own health and well-being and how much I put on my plate. Okay. So for the coming month, or at least for the next 2 weeks, I'll take on 5 new ladies. And as women are come on as members and they know and they feel secure with everything and what they can do and how to post and all that kind of stuff. Once I've had those calls, then I can take on more ladies, because once you're a member, then you're pretty self-sufficient in what you do. And when something comes up, hey, Charlotte, I just want to speak at this event, add me to it, whatever the case is. But yeah, so if you're already a member, no worries
I'm a member. Okay.
at all. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm working on those calls right now. I just mean going forward, as of today's call, I'm going to take 5 new ladies.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. That's all I had to ask. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, anybody else have any questions?
I have a question. It's Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, congratulations on your growth. I'm misunderstanding. I think I responded to your wanting instructors, and sorry, phone rings at the exact minute that I'm trying to do this. Turn off. Sorry. So I responded to instructors and I put together some information about what I do and how I do it. And I'm hearing you talk about membership. So I'm wondering if there's a disconnect here for me, because I thought that you were looking for instructors as opposed to members.
Yeah, to be an instructor, you need to be an empowered member. So I want to work with women on the long term who are invested in what we do,
Right.
who are part of this greater network.
Or is this a matter of membership and forgive me, but with all of my years of training and experience, I've been in several organizations where promises were made for speaking engagements, all kinds of work, and it ain't happened. And I'm not in a position right now in my life to be putting out money to share my gifts and my skills. So is there something that's guaranteed? Is there income? What is being offered for instructors? Thank you.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, Teresa, to be able to work with us. And I would say, if you're just learning about our organization, attend some stuff. Get to know us.
I've been following you a couple years.
Just attend stuff. And
I'm
talk
not
to some of the
pay to get on stages, to pay to be an instructor. So I just think maybe there's a disconnect here.
Yeah, no worries. It takes money to make money. Like I said, at 37 years old, I hit my first $1 million mark with my business. And, I started entrepreneurship when I was 21. And it took a lot of investing in myself and my business to build and grow that to massive success. But a lot of women don't want to invest in themselves, and they're scared to do that, or they don't know how to do that.
Well, some of us invest in ourselves, but we get to a point where we're like, I'm going to stop paying and I'm going to get paid. So it's not, I don't want to be shamed. The angle of we're not willing to invest in ourselves sounds a little harsh, as opposed
to. No, I'm just telling you I'm just explaining. Yeah, I'm just
investing. Show me the money.
Yeah, no worries, Teresa. Like I said, there's a lot of free things that we do and offer in terms of attending webinars that we do for free, attending events. All of our world summits are by donation. And if women don't have the funds to do that, they can do that for free. But the thing is that what we do costs money. To be able to send girls to school costs money. To be able to help women start businesses who are living on the streets, that are living out of their car right now, who don't know where their next meal is coming from, all takes money. And I could retire, I could put my feet up if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I want to be able to create this impact, but it does take money at the end of the day. So I want to work with women with these empowered memberships in terms of women who have businesses that want to build and grow their businesses, but have no problem giving back to be able to empower another woman and girl to be able to do the same. If you are not on that page, you are not a good fit for an empowered membership. I'll tell you that right now. And that's just me being open and honest. And I will always be open and honest with every single one of our members, is that, hey, if you want to build and grow your business through one woman, you also have to be willing to empower another woman or girl to be able to do the same. That's the whole principle of why we exist. So that's just me just being blunt and to the point, and all that kind of stuff, because I am upfront and honest that way. And there's so many free things that you can just participate in. You don't have to be a member at all. I'm not trying to sell you into anything today. I want you to live the life of your dreams. Maybe you just meet one woman online today that you connect with and, do something great. Maybe you hear something that Natalie has to say today that really helps you to start creating revenue in your business. That's the thing, is that one woman is really powerful that way in terms of whatever you want to make it. I'm not here to try to sell anything to anyone. At the end of the day, it's all meant to empower you wherever you're at as to whatever you want to participate in. And there's so many things that we do absolutely for free that you can be a part of, that you don't need to be a member at all.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, ladies?
Charla, may I?
Yeah, go ahead, Sharon.
It's Sharon. In terms of eventually, whenever the opportunity is open for offering courses or workshops, I had a question that are these courses where, you know, we might be an expert in, or are these courses that one woman designs and we deliver them?
No, you design your own courses. So I don't know your area of expertise. So it's you saying, hey, you know what? I'm a social media marketing expert. I want to be able to teach on how to use LinkedIn effectively for your business. And so if we look at that and we say, yeah, you know what, that's something that's not been offered, or even if it has been offered, maybe you do it differently, or as to how you explain it, all that kind of stuff. So you let us know what it is that you want to teach. We send you all the information that if you're wanting to do it under the umbrella of the Empowerment Academy, what we need to put it out there to be able to educate everybody, we put it out there as to what the course is about, when it's happening, you know, all those things. But if you just you're doing it yourself because you offer webinars through your business, you can just advertise and promote it through One Woman. So you post it through our connected page, we'll just pick it up and share it. So if you get our newsletters right now, you've probably seen a lot of things that's on there that you can get involved with, all that kind of stuff. So we just share it.
And that would fall under the empowered membership.
Yes, both of those fall under the empowered membership, to either be able to offer things through the Empowerment Academy or to be able to advertise or promote your business through the organization.
So really, I mean, the way I'm beginning to understand, I've only attended a couple, you know, of your workshops. And, you know, the way I see it is that you do give us back in plenty. Because I was just saying to a friend this morning, and I said, I mean, you have an audience of over 400,000 women around the world. Like, you know, how much that could cost someone in marketing to get, and how many sales funnels that's going to, you need to put together to get 400,000 people to even look at one flyer and say, okay, do I want this course or not? Like, you would have spent so much money for that, right? So I'm just like, thank you.
You're welcome, Sharon.
I'm grateful because I can see you know, there's a lot of benefit.
Yes, well, thank you. Thank you for noticing that. But yes, you know, I've probably spent close to $1 million building this platform, and as to what One Woman is today, because, you know, I'm not scared to invest in business. I'm not as scared to invest in women and entrepreneurship and building the life of my dreams and other women's dreams and all that stuff. And I want to be able to share that platform with other women. Women will know that when at events, I'd be happier showing you where the bathroom is than speaking on that stage. You know, I love being in the background and having the side conversations, but I love creating a platform for other women to shine and giving those opportunities. I love putting things together and, you know, helping women be successful at that. And, but there is this powerful network there that's where the empowered membership came from, is that, you know what, we can do what we do through it, and we can also help women build and grow their business through it as well. And that we know it's pricey and costly, that maybe you've spent thousands of dollars on Facebook ads and social media ads and for crickets. I know what that feels like. And, you know, so this is a way to be able to reach your target market. If your target market's women, I'll be honest, if you work with men, it's probably not the best membership for you because we don't have a lot of male followers. But, you know, if women is your target market, we reach a lot of women around the world. So any other questions, ladies? Just unmute yourself if you have any questions.
Daniela has a question in the
Oh, I
comments.
see that. Yeah, sorry, my mic is not working. What is the process to apply for speaking opportunities or to become an instructor? So to become an instructor, you first need to be an empowered member. So once you've done that, you'll get all the details as to then how to become an instructor. For speaking opportunities, like I said, they're given first to our members, and then afterwards they're open to anybody to apply, and it's by application. And so I'll post the link to the speaker's application so you have it. And from there, I send you more details about that. So everyone in the meeting, this is the link to the speaker's application, but you can also find it on the website. So that is the application, and any events that have space available in them will be listed in the drop-down menu to be able to choose from. If it's not listed, it means that all the speaking spaces are full for that event. Any other questions? Is there an additional fee past the Empowered membership to be an instructor? For the Empowerment Academy, yes. So it all depends. If you have your own webinar and you just want to advertise and promote it, there's no additional fee. You can just put it together. If you're taking your registration, if you're putting together the Zoom link and you know, all those things, there is no cost. But if I have to hire my team to put it together, to create the creative and marketing materials for it, and to be able to record it, upload it onto our website, put it on our YouTube, and share the replay, and to constantly do that, yes, all of those things have a fee, whether that's speaking or the being an instructor, all those things. So it's for speaking fee, it's a reduced rate in terms of you pay less as a member to be able to speak on a fearless stage. And for the workshop, I just put that package together. So it's, I want to say it's, was it, Natalie, I think I had sent it to you. Is it $500?
Yeah, you said 500.
Okay, it's $500 to do a webinar under the umbrella of One Woman. But like I said, we record it and it lives on forever through One Woman. And we send you the registration list so you can start building your email list, all that kind of stuff. You know who participated, all that stuff. So that's that question, or hopefully that answers it for you, Marilyn. But if you have any other questions, just let me know. Any other questions, ladies? No other questions? All right, well, I'm going to turn things over to our amazing keynote speaker and our One Woman Empowered member that we're highlighting for this session, which is Natalie Guerin. So from IT consulting to healer, Natalie followed the call of her spirit and is now a spiritual empowerment coach, helping female entrepreneurs find their voice and confidence so that they can play full out and create successful businesses. She believes that all dreams are possible, but that you have to choose them first. She cycled through New Zealand, walked up to the base of Mount Everest, swam with crocodiles, and has fallen in love on more than one occasion. She is also the author of Become Unstoppable, Turn Fear into Faith, Unlock Your Potential as an Entrepreneur. Please welcome the amazing Natalie Guerin.
Thank you so much, Charla. It's really a pleasure to be here and to listen to everyone. Every time I'm on one of these meetings, I feel so connected to Charla, and my heart opens up and it's like I come home to myself. So it's really an honor to be able to present with you guys. What I wanted to do today, because it's online, I wanted it to be a little bit more interactive. So I want to start with a question, right? Do you guys remember the moment when you decided to actually start your business? And what did that feel like? Let me know in the comments. Now, I remember that moment ever so clearly. I had gone to an interview and I was there because my new job had been abolished on the very first day. And I was freaking out about the money. Like, how am I going to pay the bills? And like, I was supposed to do one more IT contract before I actually got to start my business. And so I was sitting in that interview and there was, you know, a slew of people, and there was two people in front of me asking questions. And one of them asked, she said, Natalie, why do you want to work here? In my mind, I thought, I don't. Wow. And the second thought was, I don't have to be here. And that was the moment I realized I was starting my business, and I walked away from IT. And like what Yannick said, I was so excited. It was such a fun time and invigorating, like everything was possible. Now I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I didn't know how hard it would be. And I did everything I could. I hired coaches. I went on Facebook. I was spending 12 hours a day on Facebook. I was even sleeping with my phone. Anybody else ever did that? Right? And a year and a half in, I was totally burnt out. And yes, I was getting clients, but it wasn't enough. And I was getting pretty miserable. And honestly, I hit a wall. And I said one day, I said, God, what do I do? Help me out here. And he showed me an event on Facebook, right? It was for Gabrielle Bernstein, an evening with her. And it was for a $97 ticket. And I went, you want me to spend more money? And so I went to this Gabrielle Bernstein event, and I knew who she was, but I really didn't follow her very much. And I walked into this room, and there's 4,000 people sitting there. And I'm like, wow, these are all women. And I could feel like my tribe. I felt like I was coming home to myself. And so I sit down in the middle of the audience and I listen, and nothing like earth shattering is coming through. But at the end of the evening, Gabby says, who has questions? I'm taking them. And all of a sudden, I feel myself lifting out of my seat. I'm running on people's footsteps and I'm stepping on their feet. And just to stand in line, I'm third in line at the microphone. And here's the thing, I have no clue what I'm going to say. And all I hear is stay in line. Like, what's my question? I have no idea. And my heart's pounding out of my chest, right? And now I'm 2 in line. And all of a sudden, I'm first in line. And I drop into my heart and I ask, Gabby, I'm doing everything that I can possibly do. I'm following my divine guidance. I am following my path and I'm on purpose. When the hell does it get easier? And the whole room goes quiet. And Gabby says, Natalie, it gets easier when you allow all of you to come out and play. And I was like, oh, that's the answer. And so I kind of set out on a mission to figure it out and how to allow all of me to come out and play, how to own being a healer, how to own being a business owner, how to find my voice and my confidence. Because honestly, I was playing small. And a few years ago, I thought I had figured it out. I had a life coaching program helping women rise into purpose, passion, and happiness. I had a funnel creating leads every single month. I had $15,000 months coming in consistently. I thought I had finally made it. And then a couple of things happened, one of them being the pandemic, and my business tanked. I went from $15,000 months to 0. Now, I'm not going to blame it on the pandemic. What really happened is I didn't have the passion. I had lost my drive along the way. And it felt like I was on the wrong path. And it totally, I'm going to say it totally destroyed me. I felt so defeated. And as I'm sitting on my couch watching Netflix, somewhere in between the 14 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, I realized that I had made my life really small as an entrepreneur, which was the exact opposite. I wanted to be wild, I wanted to be happy, and I wanted to be rich. What the heck had happened? And it was in that moment that I said, you know what, no more. I want a business and I want to make an impact, but boy, do I want to be happy too. Anyone else here like that too? Yeah. So I went on a healing journey. And you know what I want to do today is I want to take you along on that healing journey with me. And my intention is to help you open up your heart to the possibilities. And if you've been struggling, I want you to know that it's okay and that you can let go of that struggle and find an easier path. If you're struggling to believe in your dream because you've been so defeated, you've invested so much and it just hasn't happened, I want you to know that it's possible to move forward. And so I'm sharing my healing journey with you so that you may come along with me. And yes, I also promise to let you know how we can go further into this work. And at the end, I'm going to do a spirit message for you. What does Creator want you to know to help you on this journey? And I got a little secret here. I already heard it from Charla, so it's something that you doubly need to hear today. All right, so I started my healing journey and I said, Creator, what do? I want to be wild, happy, and rich. And so I listened, and Creator said, Natalie, ask for more. And I'm like, what do you mean ask for more? I have plenty of things that I want. I want my business. I want clients. And by the way, that was as long as my list was. And he says, ask for more. And I'm like, I don't understand. And Creator brought me back to the red ruby ring. And I went, the red ruby ring. 5 years ago, I was in Montana taking classes for theta healing. And at the back of the room, there's this little guy selling jewelry. He's from Dubai. And I'm like, ooh, I don't like to go to those things because I don't want to get sucked into something I don't want to buy. And then I go to the back of the room and there's this red ruby ring and it's massive. And I can't stop staring at it. And so he comes along and he takes the ring out and he says, try it on. And I'm shaking. I'm like, what are you doing? And he puts the ring on my finger. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my ring. And all of a sudden I'm 10 feet tall. And I felt like a queen. Anybody ever wear jewelry like that? Let me know in the comments. And I'm not a jewelry girl. And he says, wear it for the day. And I'm like, are you crazy? This is a $5,000 ring. I'm going to lose it. What if it doesn't work? Like, oh my God, I'm never going to keep this. So I wear it for about 5 minutes. I go and I sit down and I'm like, nope, can't do this. It's a $5,000 ring. And I go back and I give it back to him. And the reason I give it back to him, I said, is because I just can't afford it. But in truth, rings like that, they're not for girls like me. I'm not married. I don't deserve a $5,000 ring. And Creator says, stop putting things back. Ask for everything that you want and let me do the rest. So what are you asking for in your business? Are you asking for what you think you can get or the things that you actually want? And let me tell you something, when you ask for all of it, the universe delivers. So in my business, I've invested quite a lot of money in my business, and I had a lot of what you call trauma around that, and failures and all of that, and it's all part of the journey. But I knew one thing for absolute truth, that I would never run out of money. And so when I did run out of money, I sat in the park and I meditated and I said, God, what do I do? And in that moment, I got an email from my neighbor. And I was like, oh, I'm selling my place. And 3 minutes later, I had sold my condo. Thank you, COVID. It was actually quite profitable. Everything is possible. As Charlotte said, everything is God's possible, but you have to choose and you have to say yes to what you actually want. Now, I wasn't that kind of girl. I had to do a lot of inner work to start asking, and I'm still struggling with that. And every day I ask for a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And every day it gets more and more exciting. What do you need to ask for in your business to make it that much more exciting? So I got to the point where I was asking, and now I'm like, Creator, now what? I want to be wild, happy, and rich. And Creator shows me this vision of when I was 32 years old, and I'm standing at the bottom of a cliff, and I'm going rock climbing. And I'm there. My friend Rachel's at the top. She's like this gazelle, and she's just climbing over the edge. And me, I'm at the bottom. I'm in the harness, and I can't even get my feet off the ground. And I see all of these people going up and around. And I'm like, what the hell? Why can't I even get started? And I was so frustrated, so defeated. And it's how I felt in my business. I had worked so hard to get to the top, and yet I wasn't making the progress I wanted. And Creator says, accept where you are. And I thought, are you crazy? What do you mean accept? And then I remembered healing actually has 5 stages. The first stage of healing is awareness. Then it's acknowledgement. Then it's appreciation. Then it's acceptance, right? Which leads to choice. And I had lots of appreciation for the journey. It's been hard, but you know what? Without the journey, my heart wouldn't have started to open. I wouldn't have actually started to love myself. I wouldn't have trusted God in the way that I do. I am so grateful for it. But in that moment, I gotta tell you, I still resented the hell out of it. It's like I was carrying like these gigantic boulders on my shoulder, like playing the victim. I didn't accept. And I thought accepting meant letting go of my dream. But actually accepting is having compassion and saying, this is where I am. Yeah, it sucked. It hurt. Now what? And it's what allows us to take full responsibility for the next step. But I was really struggling. I spent a lot of money in my business. I've had lots of failures. And I kept beating myself up like, nope. And really in my head, it was kind of like, who are you? You shouldn't have done this. You knew better. You spent all that money. What's your dad gonna say? It's what was going through my head 24/7. And then one day I came across a meme on Facebook. It was a meme from Tony Robbins. Now, I'm going to butcher the quote, but it was something like this. You could have tried 10,000 times and failed and still be further ahead than the person who's never tried. And all of a sudden, something crazy happened. I took a breath, and I started to have compassion for where I was. And that boulder that was on top of my shoulders came off and it came down. And then I looked up and I'm like, oh, I can breathe again. And that's really when things started to shift for me. I'm not telling you that they were easy. It was the process of moving forward. What would happen if you took that boulder on your shoulders that you're carrying, that you're beating yourself up with, and just put it down? What would that feel like? What would happen to your business? All right, the boulder is off my shoulders. And guess what? I said, Creator, what now? I still want to make money, right? And Creator says, play, start playing. Now, I don't know if you guys know me, and some of you probably do, and some of you don't have a clue who I am, but I'm not really the kind of girl that plays. Ever since I was in first grade, I've been the hardworking, good girl. Push that boulder up the mountain, work as hard as you can, and then maybe you're going to get what you want. And Creator says, play. What? And I'm like, have I even ever played? And Creator brings me back to a moment 5 months into my business. I'm sitting in the park and I'm writing gratitude statements. I'm trying to feel better, but honestly, I feel like crap. And I'm writing down, I love my life. I love my business. I'm grateful for my life. And I'm not feeling it. And all of a sudden I have tears coming down my eyes. And I say, God, I didn't sign up for this. I demand $500 today. I don't care how you do it. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Have you guys ever yelled at God? Let me know in the comments, right? And it wasn't my finest moment, but I gotta tell you that I felt so much better and I didn't have any expectations. It was just, I got it off my chest. And a half an hour later, I was having breakfast and I got an idea for a service. It was for a $47 intuitive business reading. And I thought, oh, I've had that before. And I had discounted it because it's never going to make me 10K months. Like, come on, nobody's going to buy that. But on that day, I had yelled to God and I'd said, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. So guess what? I made $600 that day. And that turned into $12,000 over the next 3 weeks. And you know what? It was effortless. And it was like the money gods that turned on the taps. And it was fun. I was playing. And I got to tell you that I learned something really powerful. If you just do what feels good to you, things are magical. The problem, and that I had and I've had since, is that I kept getting in my own way. I kept trying to figure it out instead of letting God show me the path. And the way that God shows us the path is through play. And not play like an adult, play like a 3-year-old who's in the park and wants to build a sandcastle. When that sandcastle comes down, there's no worries. He just rebuilds it, or he goes and he plays on the slides. He just does what he wants to do. So what would happen if you played like a 3-year-old in your business? What would change? What would be easier? Now, today I said I would share with you the 3 keys to actually building your business while loving the journey. And it's pretty simple. The first one is that you have to ask for everything that you want, not for just a little bit. Let God do the rest. And as Charlotte said, everything is God possible, but you have to ask first. And 2, you've got to accept where you are. Stop beating yourself up. let it go, take a breath, and choose what's next. And finally, you've got to let yourself play. Because if you're not having fun, it totally sucks. Now, I want to know from you guys in the comments if you've had any ahas so far in this short presentation. And as I'm going to read those out in just a moment. And in the meantime, I want to say something. I know that everything I've said to you is super easy, right? But it's not simple, right? Because you're gonna get in your own ways. You have blocks, you have fears, you have traumas, you have all kinds of stuff. You're gonna feel like a fraud. I did. And the secret is really to clear your inner blocks, and just so that you can come out and play and really stand in your power. And my greatest gift that I can offer you is the gift of clarity. So I want to offer you guys a clarity call, which is basically where you and I are going to sit down, figure out your short-term goals, your long-term goals, what's holding you back, and we're going to create a path for you to move forward. You know, I've had women come into these calls and start businesses, which is absolutely incredible. And so if you're wanting one of those, and if you're wanting to spend a bit of time, I am going to put the details in the comments. So go ahead and grab one. And so I would love to chat. And that's it. And if you're inspired, go ahead and do it. If you're not, that's totally cool too. And there's one more thing I want to do as we go throughout this talk is finish up with a message from Spirit. And this is actually kind of funny to me because I did this message from Spirit about 2 hours ago. And basically what I do is I connect with your energy and I ask Creator, what do they need to know today? And Creator showed me you at the bottom of a ladder, and the ladder is against the wall, and you have this big dream, and there's a long ladder between you and your dream, and you're standing at the bottom and you're trying to figure out where it is that you want to go and how it's all going to work. And when I asked Creator what you needed to know, Creator says, stop trying to figure it all out. Just take the next step. So I'm going to ask you, what is your next step? Declare it in the comments, and thank you so much for your time.
Awesome, Natalie. Thanks so much for sharing and for us to get to know you better and what you're so passionate about. A bit about your story. That's fantastic. And so for our empowered members that do want to speak at one of our upcoming connected sessions, drop me an email. If you're already a member, I'll get you slotted in at some point during the year to also be able to speak and share. So that's everything. Does anybody have any questions at all for Natalie?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to know what is one of your takeaways from this talk. Like what came up for you as we were talking?
Does anybody have something they want to share as to a takeaway that they got from Natalie's talk?
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna talk if I can. I like when you said, when you were talking, because a lot that happened to you actually happened to me, and I'm in a similar coaching business, and I loved when you said that you were not sure what question to ask, but you asked a question, when does it get easier? And it gets easier when you allow all of you come out and play. I'm tearing up over this because this is exactly what we need. We're so serious all the time and so, stuck in this adult world, but being a kid, I loved that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And one of the things that I wanted to say in this talk, and I didn't, and I was thinking about it, is that we tend to ask Source and Spirit or Creator or God or whatever you want to call it, for guidance when things get really hard. But really, you can ask at any time. You can ask right here, right now for guidance. Charla uses these words, and those words changed my life. She said, God, heal my heart. 4 words.
Yeah.
And you could use the same thing and go, God, show me the path. And you know what? God shows you the path. He's everywhere, or she,
Yeah,
So,
I believe just like you. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I love how you were constant contact with Creator. Thank you, Catherine. And by the way, that was intentional as well. And it's so easy to do because when I get onto this call, Charla is speaking and she's already in connection. And so I'm just resonating with that. And yes, playing like a 3-year-old. The hardest part for me is accepting where I am, but I love playing. You know what, Justina? Absolutely. I totally get that. And, you know, it's possible to accept and be okay with where you are. And, you know, somebody said to me the other day, I went for an appointment for an osteopath, and I've gained a little bit of weight over COVID. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly have. And I don't really feel good in my skin. I don't feel good in my body. And she says, you know, you can stop beating yourself up because it probably is not going to go all the way today, right? And just be okay with where you are. And being okay means that you have a choice to move forward in compassion and in love. And that journey is going to be so much easier. Okay. Compassion, ease the feeling of burden to create expression again. I love it. It really opens my heart. Are there any more questions or comments?
Fantastic, Natalie. Well, beautiful job. Thanks for inspiring all of us and reminding us to play and have fun, because ladies, life's too short not to. Trust me when I say that, you know, have more fun. Don't forget to find joy in every single day. You'll radiate and you will vibrate at a different level that will start attracting things to your life that you never imagined. Sometimes we feel like we got to work hard and, you know, do all these things in our business and all that kind of stuff, and we forget to have fun. And those are the things that then attract those opportunities and all those amazing things that happen in our life. So make time for that every day for sure. So gosh, Natalie had put in the chat there the links as to how you can connect with her. And also she's got a great workshop webinar coming up soon. And we're also going to be advertising and promoting that through One Woman. So you can also watch the newsletter for that, that if you want to take part in that, that's going to be coming up at the end of March. We have our next connected session coming up on March the 18th. So that event is going to have keynote speaker Claire Capano, who's also one of our amazing empowered members. Like I said, if you're an empowered member and you'd like to speak, just let me know, drop me an email. We'll get you scheduled in to talk at one of these sessions. We also have our World Summit that's coming up on the 26th of this month. Those are free to attend. So you know what? Be able to network and connect with almost 500,000 women around the world. Hear more inspiration. You know, we have, I think, about 13 inspiring speakers of women sharing their fearless stories. And there's nothing like a fearless summit, whether that's in person or whether that's online. It's staying in that energy and vibration. It's being able to connect with other like-minded women around the world, because we know that it can be a lonely path and a lonely journey. And sometimes you feel like you're all on your own trying to build and grow your business. And, you know, having that support and encouragement, hearing those words that we need to hear. God speaks to us through others. And sometimes it's that one little thing that we hear that day that keeps us going one more day, or that gives us that inspired idea or action as to that next right step that we need to take. So I want to thank everyone for being here today, taking your time to spend with us, learning more about One Woman and the work that we do. And keep an eye on the email. And if you haven't joined the One Woman Connected page yet, it's totally free to join. I'm going to post that right now in the link. And it's probably the fastest way to stay in the loop as to what's going on that you can partake in. And like I said, a lot of the things that we offer and do is absolutely free, whether those are webinars or the Fearless Summits online, those things. You can join in on those absolutely for free. So we do what we can for free. And of course, we can't do it all for free. For those that joined our One Woman Empowered, I've already emailed a few of you. I know I saw Magdalena and gosh, Constance and a few other ladies. So I'm dropping you emails today, and we'll plan a chat in the next couple of weeks to find out what you'd like to do through One Woman and how we can help you reach your big goals and dreams for your business. So everybody have a fantastic day. I hope you had a wonderful session with us, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully soon. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. Have a great day.